Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel and thank you for clicking today's video. You guys, it's wedding season and you know now in Nigeria, seasons like this, people are either planning their sister's wedding, planning their own wedding, maybe a friend's wedding, you know, but there's sharp planning involved. And in as much as this video is going to be more about like focused on weddings, you can also use some of these tips for any other type of events you're planning. Okay, be it birthdays, be it anniversary or whatever. By the way guys, I'm going to apologize for today's sound, today's audio. If you can hear any car sounds, car driving or passing by, that is because I'm very close to a window. I don't have enough lighting except from this point, so it's just wise that I sit very close to the window so I would have enough light. But yeah, let's get back into the video. So in today's video, I'll be talking about tips for planning a Nigerian wedding on a budget. Yes, you guys, it's no joke anymore that the Nigerian economy at the moment is a bit funny and people still want to get married. I mean, people still want to enjoy marriage. So despite the economic situation, you can still plan and have a very beautiful wedding on a budget. You guys will have fun, your friends will have fun, your family will have fun, and you get to carry your bag and enter your house. You don't have to break your bank. Do you understand? So if you're interested in this kind of video, then please keep on watching. And yeah, let's just get into today's video. I'm thrilled, I'm pumped for it. This is what I do every day. So I'm so happy to be sharing some of these tips with you. So keep watching. Welcome back again to the video. So like I said, that in this video I'll be sharing tips on how to plan your Nigerian wedding on a budget. The first tip on my list, see guys, if you guys see me looking down, that's because I have it all written out here in my notepad. And if you guys can see, I think yeah, I have it all written out here so I would not forget anything. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notepad. So the first thing I wrote here is determine the budget. Yes, and I wrote here for the overall event and each item. See, it's funny when most times, yeah, as an event planner, I have clients call me for the first time and the first question will be, what do you think this wedding will cost? Like after they've described the kind of wedding they want, and they'll be like, how much do you think this kind of wedding will cost? And then I go ahead to tell them how much I think based on their description how much the wedding will cost, and they go, it's beyond our budget. And I'm like, the first thing you're supposed to do, even before I get into the picture or before calling me or looking out for a planner, was to determine your budget for the wedding. So you're supposed to sit down with your spouse to be and be like, okay, how much are we willing to put into this wedding? Of course it's an expense, so how much are we really ready to let go for this wedding? So if our parents gift us, give us money, both parents, our own savings, together, how much wedding can we pull off? So that's the first thing you're supposed to even think about before calling a planner or calling vendors or doing anything. Just the same way you set a date, you're supposed to know, okay, this is the amount I can afford. This is the amount of wedding I can afford. And when you've determined like the budget for that particular event, that wedding, you have to now know how much to allocate to each item. You understand? Each part of that event. I have clients who say, oh, we're willing to spend 5 million naira for our wedding, and then they come up with unrealistic plans or budget for some parts or items on the list. Like for example, you will hear some brides will be, I want this kind of photographer to be the one to cover the event, and this particular photographer maybe charges like 1.5, or this particular decorator charges like 2 million naira. Are you seeing that with a 5 million naira budget, that vendor doesn't really sit or fit into that picture. So yeah, do you get? So the first thing you need to do is determine your budget for the event, and different aspects of the event, like how much are you willing to pay for a particular service. Do you understand? So the next point on my list is determine the guest size. I had to put this one next because once you've been able to determine the budget, the amounts, the estimate of how much you would want your wedding to cost, you need to get a guest size that fits that budget. When you have a guest size of 1,000 guests, and your budget for your wedding is 3 million naira or 5 million naira, do you see it doesn't fit? Like, you have 1,000 people to cater for food, drinks, party packs, if you want to give party favors, you understand, drinks and other stuff, for a 5 million naira. By the time you're done with food, that's small chops, the main course, drinks, and your souvenirs, you would have gone like 50% of that price because of the budget, the amount you want to put into your wedding, because of the guest size. It doesn't sit like, it's like it's like this. Do you understand? This is your budget, so something is going to really suffer. You understand? So you would not maybe have 100 the kind of guest size, 100 the kind of wedding you would want, because your guest size is going to really sap food and drinks, and the rest will sap a huge chunk of that, like a huge part of that money, of that budget will go into food. Before you know, you don't have enough for photography, you don't have enough for videographer, you don't have enough to pay the decorator, and even what you would wear. Are you seeing? So you have to be very realistic with your budget. I wrote down here, keep it real. Like, if you know that your budget, and you sit down and you know that this budget can only cater for 500 guests, just do the 500 guests. You understand? And if you want a 1,000 guest size, then just be realistic to make sure that you have a budget that can fit and cater efficiently, perfectly for that guest size. Okay, so my next point is get the right event planner. Yes, I wrote down here that an event planner that can help you plan your desired event on your budget. Get the right event planner. I'm going to do a video about how to choose a wedding planner. If you want me to do that video, let me know in the comment section. So in that video, I'm going to be spilling it, like the things you need to consider when you choosing event planner for your event, for your wedding or all. But back to the topic. Yes, you need to get the right event planner. See, if you know that a particular planner charges maybe 5% of total event cost, and you cannot afford that planner, no need to stress the person, because it's really funny and sad when people try to downprice people, and make them feel like their work is not good enough for that price. So this event planner charges, for example, 500,000 naira, and your budget on your list for event planner is 200,000 naira. It doesn't fit. So get the right event planner. I feel I should start for that. You need to get the right event planner, and also an event planner that you're comfortable with. Like I said, this particular topic, this particular point is going to be a whole topic on its own, but I'm just trying to say, get a planner that will work with that, a planner that you can afford, a planner that you vibe very well with, and then start working. By this time you've already determined your budget, you already know what your guest size is, so you get a planner that can work with you to make sure that, okay, this event is the way, plans the event the way you would want. You understand? I don't want to dwell much on this particular point so that I don't spill or give away too much. So once you get the right event planner, this event planner is going to help you get the right vendors. This event planner is going to help you get the right vendors for your budget. Why am I saying the right vendors? If you're, like I said, I'm going to use an earlier example I used. For example, if your budget for your wedding is 5 million naira, that is how much you can spare for a wedding. you have no business with getting a vendor that, maybe for example a photographer that charges 250,000 naira or 1.5 self. You have no business with that person, because there are a lot of things on the list you've not done. You've not paid for venue, you've not paid for decoration, you've not paid for food, you've not paid for a lot of things, and you're taking like almost that's almost more than 10%. What am I saying? It's more than 20% of the whole total budget for a particular item. So you really don't have, you have to, like I said, you have to be real with your vendors. I wrote down here that be realistic with the choice of vendors at this point. Note that since you're on a budget, your preferred vendor might not be your available vendor. You understand? Or might not be the vendor for the event. Why am I saying this? Is important because most times I have clients who come to me and they tell me their budget's good, the guest size is amazing, but then you start hearing the kind of vendors they want for their event, and you're like, oh my god, really? You understand? So like, I'm not even going to say, like, there's this particular client I have, like, this is my issue with her. She will come and be like, oh, I want this person to be the photographer, and I get the quotation from that photographer and I give her, and she was like, oh my god. And I'm like, see, we need to be realistic with the vendors. Yes, you want that kind of vendor, but your ego is not supporting the ministry. Do you understand? So for some of these vendors that you see that charges a lot, see, it's because of what their brand they've been able to get for themselves, the market awareness. So they charge people off that, like they charge because they've worked hard for it. I mean, 10 years down the line now, Kamba Luxury will not be charging the same amount I'm charging now. Do you understand? Because I've worked, I've paid my dues, so I'm allowed to reflect that in my pricing. You understand? So you have to look for a vendor that is also doing that is good, that is willing to offer a quality service for for your budget. You understand? And if you can afford them, go ahead and afford them. But if you can't, you understand, you can look at one of the good guys down there and just use them and get quality service. It's not just one day event and you want to have pictures that you see. You understand? And you don't want to be like going over the budget for really little things. I don't know, but yeah, I just really feel going over the budget over really little things is not really. So my 5th point is pick your battles. Yes, pick your battles. And I wrote down here, choose aspects of the event you cannot compromise the quality. There is no perfect event. I don't know how to say this thing. There is no perfect event. Yeah, but you can choose areas of your event that you want perfection. Yeah. So for example, let me tell you guys a little story. Yeah, there's this client I worked with like 3 months back, the launch. So with her, I asked her when we had our first initial consultation. I asked her what are areas of your events that you don't want to hear that anything went wrong, and she was like, oh, that she wants the food to be amazing. And yes, see, your entire event cannot be perfect, so choose areas of your events that, look, if everything goes wrong, you see these areas, I don't want them to be wrong. You understand? For me, for example, for a person like me, when you ask me this kind of question, I'll be like, oh, I want my the decoration of my event, of my wedding, to be pink. Yes, I am ready to, no matter what goes wrong that day, make sure the decoration, make sure my photographer and videographer and what the clothes I'll be wearing, my attires, I want them to be perfect. I don't want any comma. I don't want that something happened to somebody, that something did not come and land. No, I don't want that. I want perfection. So pick your struggle, especially when you're planning your own event yourself. You need to ask yourself, okay, these areas, who do I need to delegate this thing to? If you know that you're not going to, maybe you don't have an event planner and you're the one planning it all yourself, this my auntie or my uncle that might be related or brought the photographer, please, is he willing to stay and make sure that photographer does not disappoint me, videographer comes on time, my decorator does not do something opposite to what I told them to do, or my dress doesn't come and one leg is off and the other leg is alive. Do you understand me? So pick your struggle, pick areas that you know that, look, even if the food should pour, God forbid, God forbid, even if something should happen, look, these areas, I want them perfect. So now this is the last point for me in this video, and it's simply, since you're planning your event your wedding on a budget, then you need this point, and it's rent or borrow stuffs to save money. Yes, since you're already, you know, working with a budget, you can save money from renting stuffs. For example, a wedding gown. Me, I'm always of the opinion that I'm wearing my wedding gown once. By God's grace, I will never have to wear a wedding gown again a second time. Do you understand? I really don't think that it's financially wise to, you know, make a custom wedding gown. Except you make a custom wedding gown and you know, sell it off. Yes, if you are, you know, willing to, you know, do that. Or you could or go and rent a nice looking wedding gown, finish it, wear it that day, and just package it back and give it to the people. Because eventually, even the one you customize, you're still going to have to sell it, so somebody else will have to wear your gown. Do you understand? So a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to wear something someone else have. But well, your wedding gown is just going to be there in your wardrobe, and I'm sure by the time you have children and your child is ready to get married, I'm not sure your daughter, me, I wouldn't want to wear my mother's wedding gown. of course I don't want my child to wear my wedding gown, except she's going to come and touch it. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to be buying. I think I'll be renting. Do you understand? So you might rent stuffs like that. Even this traditional hand fan, a lot of people don't use it again after that particular day. So look for people who rent those stuffs, and you can actually rent. A lot of people rent a lot of things. So it was until I started proper wedding planning that I knew that there is nothing about wedding that people don't rent out. Like, they can, anything you want to rent, even if you shoot, they rent it. So you get, so yeah, you may have to, you know, borrow stuffs from your cousins, your friends, bouquets, stuff like that, rather than buy them. Save your money there. Buy your stuffs, rent your stuffs, and then after the event day, you return it back to the vendors you got them for. And you know, renting and, you know, borrowing stuffs will save you money. So imagine you rented a bouquet and you were supposed to make it for like 30,000 naira, and then you rented it for like 10,000. Just small 10,000, 5,000 a year you're saving from renting and borrowing can now help you even put the money in areas that you don't want, you know, substandard services in there. For example, you can even have maybe 100,000 naira on top to even, you know, go for a higher package, your photography package. Do you get? So yeah, so that's all my tips for today's video. I hope this was very informative. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video, and let me know what you learned in the comment section. If you know anybody that this video will be useful to, please just send them the video, help them, okay, and help me grow. If you're not yet subscribed and you've watched me to this point, please kindly click the subscribe button. It's below, somewhere here or here, somewhere there. Just click the subscribe button. Don't forget to share. I've already said share. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications, so whenever I upload, you see firsthand. I'll see you guys in my next video. My name is Jessica. I'm an Abuja-based YouTuber. Do follow me on Instagram, the Makamba, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then.